No, 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 that's wrong. Dixie Diamonds 222. Mets, 7:56 p.m. Brisbane, Australia, 4:56 a.m. Though darkness continued its reign in Dixie, down Brisbane way, the sun had ascended from the Coral Sea moments earlier and now provided clearly visible streaks of dawn in the skies above 13 Vulture Street. Being both New Year's Day and a Saturday, the streets were deserted, so no one who resided on Vulture between Montague and Hardgrave Roads witnessed the four-vehicle police convoy that silently entered their quiet upscale neighborhood from the west. A trio of police cars, plus a large mobile command center SWAT truck, had driven with lights flashing but sirens off as they convoyed from Brisbane's 16 May Street Police Headquarters to Vulture Street. Driving easterly on Vulture, the first patrol car continued beyond 13 Vulture to the edge of number 15's yard, where the driver, parking nearly perpendicular to the street with its hood facing north and its trunk to the south, effectively blocked traffic heading towards the Brisbane River from the east. Following closely behind the lead squad car, the second car parked against the curb on the northern side of Vulture at number 12, directly across from Brentsy's home. The MCC SWAT truck pulled adjacent to the second police car, effectively shielding it with the bulk of its heavily armored mass, while the third and final police car's driver positioned his car on the western front, as had the first driver on the east, parking at a nearly right angle to Vulture at the easternmost edge of number 11's property line and thereby blocking traffic from the west. Both of the perimeter establishing blockading squad cars held 4 uniformed and flak-jacketed officers, and as soon as the cars were parked, the officers in the front seats exited and opened the back doors of their squad cars. The 4 uniformed officers in both cars moved to the side of their vehicles that were farthest from Brentsy's home, such that their squad cars were positioned between them and the SWAT vehicle. Once the 8 patrolmen had established their perimeter, the back of the SWAT truck lowered from top to bottom via massive, full-length hinges that, when fully open, created a ramp at the rear of the truck. First to emerge from the SWAT truck was an enormous device propelled via continuous trank tread, topped with a heavily armored front end that held 2 tiny blast-resistant glass windows. Among the offensive weapons housed behind the armor of the SWAT-tank, or SWAT-T for short, was an articulating arm with an artificial human hand at the far end. The behemoth, whose appearance was highly suggestive of something a pubescent 13-year-old boy might draw, was controlled by Jeff Howe, a well-protected police sergeant who slowly and carefully rattled the urban warfare's clinking, clanking, continuous tread peacekeeper down the ramp as it noisily revealed itself during its descent from the command center. Behemoth, a huge or monstrous creature, something enormous. The caterpillar treads on Howe's contraption changed pitch as they began clattering along the pavement rather than the metal ramp of the SWAT MCS as it lumbered slowly towards number 13. Rewe Bouchette stopped at the western barricade where he had just enough time to park, exit his car, and show his credentials to the officer that manned the western barricade before a large black sedan stopped at the eastern barricade and Crown Prosecutor Edmund Barton emerged from the right rear of the chauffeured car, while a man Bouchette didn't recognize emerged from the left carrying a compact video camera. From his position on the western side of the police barricade, Bouchette saw, but could not hear, the exchange of words between the uniformed officer and the prosecutor as Barton flashed identification for the police officer stationed at the blockade's eastern side, while the man with the camera filmed. Though Bouchette couldn't make out the words spoken over the caterpillar tread clatter, Barton's eye roll and finger pointing indicated things were not copacetic. Turning to the police officer who'd cleared him through, Bouchette rolled his eyes, shook his head slightly, and, as he spanned the distance between his car and Barton, said, "Officer, you need to let them through. This is neither the time nor place for politics." His words earning him an incredulous and defamatory glance from the officer until he recognized Bouchette. Defame, damage the good reputation of someone, slander or libel. "Just doing my job, Director," the Bobby said as he waved Barton and his companion through. Meeting Barton and his still filming companion on the eastern side of the patrol car, Bouchette offered his hand to the stranger and said, "Good morning, Rewe Bouchette. Lowering but not pausing his camera, the stranger said, "Good morning, Director Burchett," as they shook hands, then added, "Peter Norton, pleasure." "Well, we'll see about that now, won't we?" Barton said, before likewise shaking Burchett's hand.